Okay, hello students. So let's proceed for the next topic of discussion, that is what structure. So structure, as it is quite well known that it is a collection of elements with the different data types, and this is what the structure which we consider, that is of student. So for the simplicity, we have just considered two attributes of the student, that is the roll number and the name. So obviously the roll number expected is of integer data type and name is of the single dimensional character array. So here it has been specified. If I write here, let's say the 20 maximum characters, so accordingly I will have the allocation of the 20 bytes memory for this student structure. So student is nothing but the tag name which has been provided for this structure, just to understand what exactly the structure we are going for. And this is what the variable, unless you specify the variable for the structure, the memory will not be allocated for it. So this is where the analysis of single student is done. Now if I go for the declaration in this particular style, that is also accepted. If you go for this variable directly after the uh, you can say definition of the structure immediately over here, that is also accepted. So these are the two lines which someone can guess that by which one can declare the variable of the structure. So here total 22 bytes will be the memory required for this single student. Okay, so once this variables are been declared, just call the clrs here just to clear out the screen. And we will just go for one scanf statement over here. This will do the task of means entering the data of the student, that is roll number as well as the name, and in the next line just to display the same values. Okay, so that's all about the structure. Let's compile the code and run it. Blank screen will indicate that I need to enter the data. Let's say it is roll number, and this is what the data, let's say it is SRES, or rather I will give the name as a Sanjay. Fine. So this is how the data will be displayed. Means firstly it will be taken as an input from the user, and on the next line it will be displayed. Fine. So here for better understanding, one can put the statement like printf. Okay, let me just go over here, enter roll number and name of student. Fine. So this is just for understanding. So once this is done, one can just go for this task. Let's say this is what the data we are having, and the name is, let's say it is Yogesh. Fine. This is how the output will be displayed on the screen. So let's come out of this. If someone goes for, let's say, the data requirement, that is of 5 student, so I will just go for here the modification as an array of structure. This will indicate that st of 0 to st of 4, total 5 students data I need to enter. So every time I need to go for these statements, means these three statements every time should have been repeated. So for this we will go for the better thing, that is nothing but the loop. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, let's say I less than 5, I plus plus. So this is where loop will be considered. So inside the loop all these things will be done. But what exactly will be happening over there? So in order to have the repetition 5 times, this must be done for 5 times. So here I will just add the statement rather than here. Okay, let me just add it for the roll number of I. This is wrong. Let me just correct this. This is st of I. So here also it is, because we are going for st of 0 till st of 4. So this is how the for loop will contain these three statements. Fine. So let's enter the data of total 5 student. Okay, I is yet to be declared. Let's declare it int I. Fine. So compile it and run it. So this time I will go for the data of total 5 students. So this is where first student data is entered. Let's say the second student data. Next is, let's say, third student data. Let's say it is, I will just make the random entries so that it will be well understood. So this is what the last student, let's say it is KK. Fine. So this is how the entries will be accepted and we can get the entire data. If you want the display in tab wise manner, you can have that. And this is about the structure. Fine. So if someone goes for the additional things over here, like passing this entire structure to the function, that can also be done. You just need to pass this st, that is a variable of the structure, to the function, so that the entire copy of the structure will be passed to that particular function. We will just try to modify the same thing by passing the entire structure to the function. So for that one I will just take the help of this entire code over here. So in the clr scr I will just write down one function, that is, let's say it is display and st. Fine. So this display st is been simply called over here. Now this function is we are simply calling in the main itself. So if the function is called, we expect, obviously this is nothing but the call of the function, and the next is obviously the declaration of this function. So for the declaration I will just go over here. Okay, this will be fine. Let's declare it globally. So here I will write that void, let's say this function is not at all returning anything at the we can say at the calling function end. So struct student, and let's say it is of array of structure. Fine. So this is where the function is simply declare. So this is the declaration. We are having the call also. Now only one part is remained, and that is nothing but the definition of the function. So let me just write over here whatever the task we included in the main as it is. Now I will just proceed for the definition of this display. So this is where the main function is simply completed. Just by the call of display, we expect the output to be displayed at the display function end. So its definition will look like this, that it is display and obviously struct student, that is what the tag name, which is essential to understand what exactly the user intended to. Okay, now this is where the display will work. Let me just go int I over here. Now this declaration is not necessary at the main function end. Okay, this is where let's avoid this get ch. Fine. Now let's compile it and run it. Okay, again it is 155, let's say 2, sorry, it is 5y, 3 it is jj, okay, 4 kk, 5 ll. Fine. So this is how the 5 values will be displayed, that is a data of 5 student. Okay, by mistake the 55 has been entered as a string, but it doesn't matter, okay, for the result. So this is where we have seen that how to pass the structure to the function also. And here this is what the definition of the function, this is the definition of function. So thank you everyone, thank you very much to understand what exactly the structure, how to pass the structure to the function. Thank you.